Welcome to Technology Paul. Today we're going to review the new Apple TV 4K. This is Apple's third generation of the 4K Apple TV, and it's the seventh generation overall. Apple has been making TV boxes for a long time, dating back to the original release of the Apple TV back in 2007. And of course, they've come a long way. In fact, the Apple TV might be the best smart TV device on the market. But what have they done with their latest model? What new additions does it have? And most importantly, is it worth the money? Let's dig in. So let's get into this. This is Apple's third version of the Apple TV 4K. The original one came out in 2017. They originally had an HD model and the 4K model selling side by side. I previously had an HD model which, as the name indicates, was able to output 1080p HD video, but not 4K. Well, nowadays they have just two different variations of the 4K model available for sale. There's no HD model anymore. When you go to buy an Apple TV now, you get the choice of two 4K models. There are not a ton of differences between them. They both have 4K, obviously, which is the important part. There's also not a huge price difference though. There's a model for $179 and a model for $199. The $199 model has three things the cheaper model doesn't. First, it has Thread networking support, which is an IoT networking protocol which may be helpful for smart home integration, but it's not the main reason that I'd upgrade. The big one for me is the Gigabit Ethernet connector, which allows you to hardwire your network connection for the fastest internet speeds possible. And lastly, the more expensive version has 128 gigabytes of storage. The additional storage will likely come in handy, particularly if you're going to be playing games on here, since the video games are going to be the most storage intense applications. If you're going to just be streaming video content, then you don't necessarily need the extra storage. But to be honest, they price these two models so close together, a difference of just $20. For that reason, I'd recommend the $199 model for just about everyone. You might as well for the price difference, and then you'll never have any regrets about not getting the top end model. And when it comes to the hardware, there's one more thing to discuss. On both models, you're getting an A15 Bionic chip. Apple doesn't make a huge deal about this in their information about the Apple TV, but it is really a fast chip to have in a streaming device. This is the same chipset that's in the iPhone 14, one of Apple's latest phones. It's Apple's second fastest A-series processor aside from the A16 in the iPhone 14 Pro. The A15 is an Apple-designed 64-bit 6-core CPU with two high-performance cores running at 3.24 GHz and four energy-efficient cores running at 2.01 GHz. The A15 is not just a powerful mobile chip, but it truly competes with chipsets that are in full-on laptops. Now, the reason that Apple puts this powerful processor into the Apple TV is for gaming. Apple is slowly making progress in the gaming scene, and a couple of years back they released their own subscription gaming service called Apple Arcade with dozens of available games. Not only is this available on iPhones and iPads, but it's also available on Apple TV. You can even connect a controller for a console-like gaming experience. Now, you may think that Apple's not a serious entrant into the gaming scene, but take this fact for example. The Apple TV 4K is more than twice as powerful as the Nintendo Switch when it comes to graphical performance. Now, the Apple TV still doesn't come anywhere near the new generation consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X, but still it holds its own. I'll get into the gaming experience in a minute here, but clearly Apple is sneakily trying to get into the gaming scene. Now, let's discuss how you would go about using this device. Naturally, you're going to unbox it and get it hooked up to your TV. And if you're going to use the Apple TV as your main TV interface, I have a pro tip for you. You can select the default input your TV automatically loads up when you turn it on. Most TVs should allow you to do this, you just have to find it in the settings. This will allow you to skip past the menu that might be built into your smart TV and go straight to the Apple TV menu. Because Apple TV has HDMI CEC, you can actually just put away your other TV remote. You can turn on the TV and your Apple TV box at the same time just by hitting power. You can also turn up and down your TV volume, which is quite handy. The remote has a directional pad at the top, which allows you to click in 4 directions, but it's also touch enabled, which means you can swipe as you would on your phone to navigate. This takes some getting used to, and I will say it's a bit sensitive at times. Sometimes I've overswiped and missed what I was aiming for. Another way of navigating is by using your voice. There's a Siri button right on the side. You can use your voice to search for certain movies or TV shows, ask it to open apps, or even just check the weather. If you have HomeKit enabled cameras, you can ask to see those on screen as well. Then there's the home button, which takes you to the main screen of the Apple TV app. Here there's a Watch Now tab, which is an assortment of everything you can get on Apple TV, including content from Apple TV Plus, the iTunes Store, and a whole bunch of streaming apps that participate in showing select content on this page. You can also purchase additional subscriptions called channels directly from Apple TV app. The nice part about doing this is that there are no additional apps to install or accounts to manage. It's all managed through your Apple account. This includes services like Paramount Plus, Stars, AMC, and Super Channel. You can then flip over to the Apple TV Plus tab, which gives you direct access to Apple's own streaming service. Apple TV Plus isn't my most watched streaming service, but I've been a fan of a few series and movies that have come out on the service, like Severance, Foundation, and Greyhound. Naturally, Apple is going to put a big spotlight on its own content so that it's quite prevalent. You can hit up the store too if you want to buy or rent movies or TV shows, if you do still do that from time to time. And there's a sports tab for live sports, which pulls in from the services you subscribe to. I subscribe to Sportsnet, so it's got mostly content from there, such as NHL hockey. Finally, you have the library tab, which gives you access to anything that you've purchased in the past. If you click the back button on the remote, outside of the Apple TV app, you'll find a traditional home screen with a layout of apps, kind of like on your iPhone. This is where you can download a multitude of apps of all kinds, including video streaming, video games, educational content, news, or whatever you're into. Beyond that, you can experience other parts of the Apple ecosystem like Apple Music, Apple Fitness, and iCloud Photos. That's another reason to buy an Apple TV if you're an Apple fan. For example, if you're into Apple Fitness, the Apple TV allows you to run those workouts, and it links up with your Apple Watch so that you get to see your heart rate and move rings right on the screen. Or you have the Photos app, which you can't get on any other smart TV platform. It's perfect if you want to view your photos and videos from your photo library and share that with others using the big screen in your living room. Apple has loaded up this new box with the latest audio and visual technology as well. The Apple TV supports Dolby Vision, HDR10 for video, and Dolby Atmos for audio. These technologies are the new standards for high dynamic range video and immersive audio. So it's a plus that you're future-proofed with the Apple TV. The only tricky thing is that you won't get the benefit of it if you have a TV or sound system that doesn't support these formats. You'll have to have a fairly new TV. Check to see if your TV supports Dolby Vision. Even then, you'll need to find content that supports it too. Not all TV shows and movies are supported. That said, more and more supported content will come out all the time. If your TV doesn't support Dolby Vision, one thing you can do to improve the picture quality is to use Apple's color calibration feature. This gets you to use your iPhone camera to measure and then adjust to a new balanced look. You can compare the new and balanced picture to the original and decide which you like better. And one other cool feature when it comes to audio, you can connect your AirPods to your Apple TV. You could see that this could totally come in handy if you want to watch some TV but you're worried about disturbing someone else. Maybe you have a child that sleeps nearby, or your TV is in a shared space where others need to focus. You can actually connect up to 2 sets of AirPods so 2 people could sit together and watch and listen simultaneously. Now let's talk about games for a minute. The Apple TV actually puts a decent focus on games. As I said before, it has the processing power to play the games, and there's a decent amount of games to play. When it comes to finding games, you can select games from the App Store. Just like on iPhone, there's a bunch of free and paid games to choose from. The free games will often have in-app purchases. First and foremost, this is a casual gamer's gaming system. You certainly aren't going to get this instead of a PlayStation, but there are a lot of worthwhile games. There are a few games that I would consider AAA titles, which are legitimately big deal games, some of which push the graphics performance of the Apple TV. Games like Gear Club Stradale, Air Twister, Lego Star Wars Castaways, NBA 2K23, EA Real Racing, Rayman Adventures, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, and Asphalt 8. And there are lots more games to discover. Arcade games like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Pac-Man, party games like all the Jackbox Party games and Song Pop Party. And because a lot of these games are mobile ports, you get some classic iOS games like Alto's Odyssey, Leo's Fortune, Angry Birds, Crossy Road, and Tiny Wings. I tried my hand at several of the games that are included in Apple Arcade. I played SpongeBob SquarePants Patty Pursuit, Sonic Racing, Lego Builder's Journey, Jetpack Joyride 2, and Frogger. I think SpongeBob and Sonic Racing were the favorites for my son and me as we tried out these different games. Apple Arcade strikes me as being a good value if you're gonna get into the gaming side of things. Apple Arcade is only $5.99 per month, and that gives you access to over 200 games across the Apple TV, iPhone, and iPad. And it's a family subscription, meaning up to 6 people get access for that price. Plus, there's no in-app purchases or ads. And with Apple support for Bluetooth linked controllers, you can connect PlayStation and Xbox controllers and other Bluetooth game controllers. I love this gaming experience, even if it is meant to be pretty casual. It will be interesting to see where Apple takes their gaming experiences in the future. Do they go even further with it, or do they keep it casual? Only time will tell. So here's my read on the new Apple TV. I think it's stellar. From the interface to the hardware, I think Apple has truly refined their TV experience. I've used several smart TV interfaces over the years, such as Samsung's Tizen, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Personally, the Apple TV is far and away the best based on everything that I just went through. Plus, even if you're not going to play games, having a very powerful device with lots of processing overhead means that you don't have to wait for apps and streaming services to load, and you'll have fewer issues overall. I bought a Samsung Smart TV earlier this year, and I'm already finding that there are moments where it's unresponsive or slow. So with the Apple TV, you're future-proofing your Smart TV experience with a device that you could likely keep on your entertainment stand for a few years to come. What do you think of the 3rd gen Apple TV 4K? Did you buy one? Is it worth the hype? Or is there something better on the market? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button as it helps other people find it who might want to learn more about the new Apple TV 4K. And if you like tech, gaming, or software and service reviews, click subscribe. I've always got something new in the works and I upload content all the time. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.